What's up guys? Another day, another tutorial. So I showed you last time how I edit my portraits, and today I want to show you how I edit my cosplay, because a lot of you always ask, how do you color grade your cosplay? Different than color grading my portraits, okay? When I do my portraits, I don't boost clarity like I do with my cosplay. If you have a really detailed suit like Spider-Man with all kinds of colors and whatnot, you know, you're gonna want to color grade that differently than a portrait. So today, I'm gonna show you how I do that. All right guys, so here we are in Lightroom Classic, the latest version, once again. Now, last time I showed you how I edit my standard portraits, but now I want to show you how I edit my cosplay, because it's a little bit different. When I have a cosplay of someone fully dressed up like the Spider-Man, okay? We don't have to worry about a face, okay? We're just looking at all these vibrant colors to work with here. So I'm gonna edit a little bit differently. I like to go a little grungier, a little edgier, more vibrance, yet I like to keep it slightly darker than I would typically do a portrait, and add more clarity for a boost that I wouldn't use on a portrait. And I'll show you why at the end. So don't let me forget. So this is Hoptown Spidey out of Seattle. He's an amazing cosplayer. He's got a bunch of awesome costumes. And this was shot in Portland. So we're gonna start over here by cropping as usual. Go to 4:5, perfect for Instagram. And you know what we're gonna do? Let's work our way up this time. So I wouldn't normally mess with calibration on a typical portrait, but for something like this where we have a bunch of colors, I think I will, or I usually do anyways, but not much. I don't change much. So let's start with the blue primary here, okay? So for this, I'm gonna go ahead and bring let's bring the hue over to -38 is good. Saturation, I think, is fine. The green, let's bring up the hue just slightly. I don't know, around 40, 49 is good. And then the reds, let's just bring this all the way over to about, I don't know, 60. Yeah, 60 is fine. Saturation, bring that up just a little bit. Plus 14 is good. I don't know. Come up here to grain, don't need to mess with that. Vignette, yeah, sure, we'll add just a hint of that. Don't need to mess with any of this. Lens correction, don't mess with that. Noise reduction, I don't need that. Sharpening, it's already set to that for some reason. We're not going to need that. So split toning here with the shadows, okay, I'm gonna wanna change the shadows. Let's bring up the saturation. I like to add a little bit to the shadows typically, so we'll bring that to, I don't know, 14 is good. Let's see, I don't like the color of this, so let's take it over here. 38's about good. Now let's go down. 37 is good. Okay. Highlights, don't think I'm gonna mess with that. Now let's see, these colors here, we're gonna wanna change because we have like an orange tone going on here and more of a purple here. So we're gonna wanna mess with this stuff. So magenta saturation, I wanna bring that down just a little bit. Let's go over here to purple. Bring down the saturation of that as well. It's negative, I don't know, 39 is good. That's all that needs to change, I think. Blues. Let's see, let's bring down the hue just a little bit. And the saturation, definitely want to bring that down. Yep, let's bring that to like 62. And we'll bring down the luminance just a little bit. Now I brought down the saturation because before it was so purple, and purple smoke doesn't really make sense. So I'm bringing down the saturation to make it more of a gray. So like, you know, like actual smoke, more realistic. So let's come on over here to Aqua now. Aqua I don't think needs to really change. Green, let's go, I don't know, bring down the saturation just slightly. We'll go to -9's fine. Luminance we'll bring down just slightly. There's not a lot of green going on here, so not much to worry about. Yellow, we will go bring down this just slightly. I'd say 26 is good. Bring down the saturation just slightly. Let's bring down the luminance to that as well. Very good, almost done with the coloring. Orange. This I'm gonna definitely bring on over here. Bring down the saturation. And the luminance, we'll bring that down a little bit too. And the reds, last but not least, definitely gonna bring down the saturation for that. And the luminance we're actually gonna boost because I want those reds to pop. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Now, right here, we got our tone curve, okay, which I have that clicked, so it will probably look like this for you. So you want to, let's see, the shadows, we're going to bring up, I think, just slightly. 16 is good. The darks will bring up just slightly. The lights and highlights, I think those are fine. So now click this button. It'll take you here. And you want to grab this dot, hold it to the side, and bring it up about halfway. And then come on over here to the second box, grab the line right in the center, and bring it straight down to that line. So it's like dead center, right on the line. Perfect. And let's just bring this just, it's a little bit lower than halfway, but that seems good. All right, so we're good there. Now let's see, the saturation. Overall saturation, I think, should come down a little bit. Say -22. And the vibrance, I'm gonna bring that down just slightly as well. Dehaze, don't worry about that. Clarity, again, I'm gonna bring that up to really make this pop. I wouldn't do this for a standard portrait, but when we have something very detailed like this suit, I want to bring out all those details, so I'm going to bring up the clarity. The blacks, we're going to bring those down. Let's say -41 is good. And the whites, we're going to bring those down as well. Let's say about 45 is good. And the shadows, we're actually going to bring up. Really bring all that out. And the highlights, let's say, I'm gonna bring that down too. Just bring down those highlights to about there. Contrast, we'll give this a little bit of contrast. That's good. We'll boost the exposure, why not? Usually like to boost the exposure to about there. It is good. The tint and the temperature, those are pretty good where they are. Now, this is pretty damn near perfect. I think I might want actually a little more vibrance than I originally thought. So there we go. Let's come on back down here to the blue. I think I want some more of that blue popping. There we go. Okay, so that's good. That looks pretty damn good. The red is a little orange for me. So we might want to take the hue of the red and just slightly move it over. We don't want it pink, but right there. And if we bring down the saturation and the luminance just slightly, that makes it more red, less orange. And there you have it. Let's see the before and after. As you can see, I've brought out the shadows. I've boosted the clarity so there's more detail. I've changed the colors of the smoke to make it more of a realistic gray and less purple. I've changed the hue of the blue. I like this. I think it looks good. And this is how I do it. I hope you guys saw some value in this video. I hope you learned something. I'm sorry I drone on. I need to find out a better way to do these videos. But before I forget, let's come on over here and let me show you why I don't use this kind of edit. Now I have this preset saved for these kind of photos, but I won't use this for a portrait. Let me show you why. So settings, copy settings. Let's go over to a different photo. So now we have this portrait here. So let's see what happens when I paste those same settings to this photo here. As you can see, it's a little harsh. Now, some people like to edit their portraits this way, and that's fine. But I personally, I don't like it when the clarity is boosted on a portrait. I think it's too harsh. Bring that shit down. Now we can sharpen it, but bring the clarity down. You don't want clarity in your portraits. That's just my opinion. And that's it, guys. It's that simple. I hope you got something out of this video. Sorry, I know it's kind of long. Again, this is only like my 5th or 6th video, so they're only gonna get better. If you have any suggestions or any questions, or you just want to tell me that you're getting value out of these videos, let me know in the comments below. And I appreciate you watching, and until next time.